Hi, I'm Amanda Zito, and in this video, you're going to get some valuable information all about credit repair, credit education, and credit improvement. I'm so excited to talk to Diego Merlos of MBM Credit Solutions, a 15-year veteran in the credit repair and education industry. So keep watching, you're going to learn tons, and at the end of this video, 3 tips on how you can improve your credit today. Hi, I'm Amanda with Main Street Realtors, and today I am with Diego Merlos of MBM Credit Solutions. And Diego has been in the business for a long time. I'm so happy to have him here to talk with us about credit repair and credit improvement. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Diego with MBM Credit Solutions. I've been doing credit repair, financial education, and business consulting about 15 years now.
15 years?
Yes.
Wow. How many people have you helped?
A lot. Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
How important is your credit?
I would say it's the most important thing, right? In any type of situation, credit is probably going to be needed, right? So if you're looking for a job, they'll run your credit. For living situations, a home, they're going to run your credit, a vehicle. So throughout life, credit is very, very important and very needed.
Got it, got it. So a lot of clients who are looking to buy or upsize on properties, credit is super important. That score can make a difference in an improved interest rate on a loan. It can make a difference in buying power, whether you get this house or something you may not have wanted, and different types of programs that are out there, right?
Correct.
So are all credit repair companies the same?
Unfortunately, they are not. Right, so the general process for credit repair is going to be very similar, but we want to make sure that we're specific to the lending need that you have at that current time. Right, getting a home is going to require a lot more scrutiny when something is being underwritten or going for an approval. So we want to make sure that you can have as clean of a file as possible. So there's definitely a difference in credit repair companies and how they execute that process.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that? That's interesting.
Yeah, of course. So certain loan programs, just like you mentioned, have certain requirements that information can or cannot be on the credit profile when it goes through underwriting approval. And unfortunately, when other companies are not aware of what you're trying to accomplish, something can happen where you might have information that shouldn't belong on the credit. For example, a dispute.
Got it. Well, there's a lot of people who try to do credit repair by themselves. They send off letters that the Experian has on their website, and so can they do it themselves, or is there a reason to hire you and
Most definitely people can do it themselves. There are a lot of resources available online, on Google, YouTube, things like that. The only thing is, the analogy that I've always used is I can cut my own hair. Right, I've been cutting my own hair since I was in 7th grade. Just looks a lot better when my barber does it, right? Because he does it day in, day out, right? He deals with different types of hair. And it's the same thing when it comes to the credit repair process. Do people have the wherewithal, the knowledge, and the time to be able to appropriately dispute information and essentially not poke a sleeping bear? Unfortunately, credit is very counterintuitive to logic. So we definitely,
hold on.
Yes.
Don't poke a sleeping bear. What does that mean?
So if you dispute the wrong type of account, or if you dispute it in the wrong way, you can reactivate an account, right? And recency has a lot to do with credit. So we want to avoid unnecessary disputes to accounts that sometimes people feel are going to give them an improvement and actually have the counter result.
So I think what you just said is you analyze the credit report, and some of them are better to be left alone instead of disputing that one and getting that off, right? That's what I've heard.
Definitely.
What if I pay my collections? Isn't that better than disputing it?
No.
Really?
Right. Again, counterintuitive to logic. A lot of the times we think that once I pay it, it's going to go away, my credit score is going to go up, right? And in fact, it has the opposite effect. When you pay an account, you're reactivating the data last activity. So again, recency has a very strong bearing on your credit. So now you paid money, so you're out money. Now it shows up as a paid collection. Now it's on your credit for 7 more years, and your credit score has a potential to drop upwards of 100 and 150 points because of the reactivity of the account.
So I don't just lose money paying the collection. Wow, That's insane.
Yeah, you do lose time. Over time, maybe after about a year or so, a paid collection obviously looks better than an unpaid collection. But again, that's where if we don't have the knowledge on what to do and we're trying to use logic, it's very counterproductive.
Got it. So hiring a professional, how long does it usually take to improve a credit score?
That can depend, right? Legally, the Fair Credit Reporting Act dictates that the bureaus have 45 days to conduct an investigation.
Okay.
I would anticipate, anywhere from 3 to 6 months, but sometimes it can be longer, right? I've had clients that have had to work with up to a year, and then there's other clients that in 40 days they're good to go.
Wow. What makes a difference?
Effective disputing experience, and then more than anything would be all the other things that you can do in case the credit bureau investigation doesn't go to your favor. There's many things that people can do once they're educated on actions, recommendations, and habits that they can execute to increase their credit, even if information doesn't come off of their credit score.
I think that's a really good point. So it's not just about credit repair, but it's about education on how to have good credit habits.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So not just credit repair, a lot of the times it's credit building, right? And we have to understand what are the things that we need to do with that. So if we're not aware, credit is just borrowed money. So when we understand that it's borrowed money and we understand how to manage that, there are a lot of things that we can do on our own to make ourselves look less like a risk, right? To make sure that people can trust us, to make sure that it's warranted that people will lend to us.
Is that something you do?
That's exactly what we do.
That's exactly what you do.
We focus primarily on education, providing value through education, right? And we focus on more than just credit, on your basic money management skills. So how you should effectively be banking, what type of accounts do you have, how to make your deposits, payments, how you can avoid paying interest literally on any loan that you're ever going to have.
Really?
Absolutely.
So I think what you just said is you can help me save money, and in turn, that's going to help me save more to be able to buy a property, and you're really paying for yourself in your own services.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Absolutely. It's, again, we feel that the education, not knowledge is power. I feel that action is power, because you can have that knowledge, and if you don't put it into action, it's not going to come into fruition. So we try to combine the two, giving people the knowledge with the steps that they can take and put into action so that not just their credit, but their overall financial situation is improved.
Got it. What are some ways that people can learn and get this education from you? How do you give this to the people?
So all of our clients, we conduct a complimentary consultation and a complimentary credit analysis. So that's where we're able to view the credit on all three bureaus, and we have to look at specifics, date of last activity, if there's a balance, if it's been sold. And once we have that, our system creates an analysis. We'll review how credit is looked at, what contributes to your credit score, the information on your credit score, and then we give all of our clients 7 recommendations on things that they can be doing, right? And
so 7 recommendations
7.
After reviewing the credit, and that's complimentary?
Yes. And those recommendations, if they are going to be joining our process, become a requirement. Those 7 steps are crucial to financial success.
So if they become a client of yours, there's 7 things automatically after reviewing that they're going to have to do because you want results, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a common complaint that I hear is people hired a credit repair company, they're not hearing from them, they took their money and disappeared. Anywhere from a couple $100s to thousands of dollars, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 just to repair their credit. And after a year and a half, nothing ever happened.
Right.
And I'll ask them, well, what are you doing? Well, I don't know, I'm just waiting to hear from them.
Right. And again, I think that goes back into the different types of credit repair companies that there are, right? Unfortunately, when it comes to the dispute process, it's an investigation, similar to going to court, right? So we're waiting for results, we're waiting for information, and sometimes they don't come back in our favor. Most of the time, based on statistics, they do, right? 8 out of 10 people in the United States have some type of inaccurate information on their credit report.
8 out of 10 people?
8 out of 10. 1 out of 5, it's detrimental to their credit score.
Really?
Yeah, so it could be something as a simple misspelling of your name. And if they can misspell your name, they can definitely get an account number wrong or a social security number wrong, previous address. So while we're trying to dispute that information, and because it's not something that we can control, we have to make sure that we can provide people with the tools so that they can execute those recommendations in case the information doesn't come off.
Oh my goodness. Let me ask you, Diego, from my experience also, other people have had their credit repaired by, there's dozens of companies, and anybody who has bad credit, there's going to be some type of ad on Facebook about getting their credit repaired.
Right.
But we've been in the escrow process, and then the lender will say the buyer doesn't qualify anymore because a derogatory dispute, like a bankruptcy or a short sale that was done, was put back on their credit before the close of escrow.
Right.
What happens? Why do these things come back?
They have the potential of coming back, but they shouldn't. Because again, through the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it is the law that they have 45 days to complete the investigation. So if something comes back, that would be, let's say, like the officer showed up on a Saturday for my court date that was on Friday. Shouldn't happen. So if you have the proper documentation and if you can keep records from the credit bureaus, because they're the ones that do the investigations, not the companies themselves.
The bureaus.
So if you have the documentation, you can provide that to your credit report, to your lender, to your provider, to make sure that that information remains off of the credit report.
Got it. Is there a downside to doing credit repair?
With the wrong person or with the wrong company, absolutely. Because again, if they're not familiar and they don't have the experience for, let's say, someone who is geared for a home loan, again, you have the potential of credit drops or something that shouldn't appear on your credit while it's going through an approval. So it's definitely, it would behoove people to select the right person to handle their process.
So for my clients and for anybody who may be watching this video, what are 3 tips that you could give them right now to help them improve their credit?
The number one thing, it'll be different for everybody. It's a case-by-case scenario. Some people have resources that they can tap into, some people might not. But if you do have revolving balances, which would be a credit card or a department store card, lowering your balance as soon as possible is a very effective way to increase your credit. Balances on your credit cards, not your overall debt, on your revolving credit, represent 1/3 of your score.
Okay.
And it's a risk factor, right? It's an algorithm. What is the likelihood that the client is going to be anywhere from 30 to 90 days late? The more you owe, the more probable it is. So your score goes down.
Got it.
So paying balances on revolving credit cards. I would say number 2 would be definitely do not pay off any collections. You pay a collection, again, you do have that potential drop of upwards of 100 points. And again, through the education, my feeling is once you know how to properly manage money, that's going to help out. So you should use your credit card like you would your debit card. You don't use more than what you have.
Okay.
Your debit card connects you to your checking account, so you can only use what you have in there. So if you can emulate that on your credit card, your balances should be able to be kept in an optimal range.
Got it. So through the education process, you'll also help put together that plan on
Absolutely.
The budgeting. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how can somebody get a hold of you?
Facebook, Instagram, Instagram would be MBM Credit Solutions. Same thing on Facebook. Phone number 909-295-6263. Online, mbmcreditsolutions.com as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
My
Such
pleasure.
valuable information. If it was valuable for you too, whether you have great credit or not so great credit, I think you will greatly benefit from Diego's free consultation, and it could make a big difference in your financial future.
And thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Thank you.
So if you're interested in more information, reach out to Diego with his information. You can also send me a DM, an email, a text message, or give me a call at 909-800-7264. I'd love to be able to help you. Have a great day.